Hello, I'm Bas Taras, and I'm very happy to kind of see you all here like this. And the reason for this video message is that I've received a few questions, or the same question from a few students in the past couple of days related to the weekly submissions that are due this Sunday. And I did reply to the students, but I thought I would create this a little longer message for the professors, 5 minutes, just to clarify the issue and explain how the project flow works this semester, how is it different from the previous semesters, and why we do what we do. So this semester, we have the model that we refer to as individual team. Peter Manguson actually came up with this idea. And so it is a little different from what we've done in the previous semesters. In the past, the way it would work is that either one of the challenge questions is due every week, and so each week the team has to answer one of the questions until by the week, the last week of the project, they have a complete project that they submit. Or they would answer a little bit each question, so that in week one, they provide only very, very little, just a few words for each question. And then next week, a little bit more. And then a week after, a little bit more. And then a little bit more until in the last or second last week, they have almost complete answers. And then in the last week, they finalize the report and submit it. Now, all of those work very well, but there was one problem with that approach. And actually, it's been the same problem we've had for like 7 years now. And that is this. Many teams would divide the workload among the team members by the question. They would say, you, John, you will do marketing. And you, Sarah, you will do HR. And you, Bob, you will do pricing, and so on and so on. And they would hope that each of the team members will do their part at a good quality level. And they just hope that at the end, last week of the semester, they will simply copy and paste those individual answers into one single document and submit it as a file. And there is a big problem. In fact, there are three problems with that approach. One, sometimes not everyone does his or her work. So if there are 6 or 7 team members, often there would be one team member who doesn't do his chapter or her chapter. And then what happens is it's the time to submit the report, and the team is counting on that team member to do his or her part, and it's missing. And then the students start complaining that, oh, I'm not going to do his work because that was the deal, that he does his work or she does her work. And now what do we do? And so you as instructors, you have to basically be in the middle of this. And we don't want that to happen. Second, some students do their work, but it's done in different format for each student, and then it's not just easy to copy and paste it all into one document because each student was using a different format and different style. And then when you read the final report, in many cases, you kind of see that each section was written by a different person. Not good. 3, and this is the biggest problem, if students divide the workload by the question, they waste the greatest potential, the greatest benefit of team, which is teamwork. And if everybody works on one question and nobody else from the team works on that question, the best answer you can expect is the answer that one single student will produce. What we want is that the answers to those challenge questions are better than any team member could do on his or her own, even the smartest team member. We want exchange of ideas. We want people to work together, maybe criticize each other's work, maybe argue, have a constructive conflict, and then together develop a solution that will be better than any one of them could have done on his or her own. And so one of the ways to do that, we think, and we are still testing, we will see if it works, but one of the ways to do it is to divide the questions into several blocks. We have 3 blocks. We have marketing, and operations management. And then ask each team member to first try to answer all of those questions individually in 1 week. And then next week to try to use that individual input, have some more discussion, and then develop the final consolidated integrated team answer. So this way, the hope is that first of all, the students will each think about each question and each generate some ideas for each question. So when the time comes to discuss them as a team, there will be more ideas, more materials on the table to even work with. Second, if students prepare in advance, hopefully when the time comes to discuss it as a team, they will be more vested in their ideas, more committed to their ideas. And so there will be more discussion, more arguments, as I said, maybe even some sort of a constructive conflict or discussion, so that in the process, something better is developed. Maybe you give me an idea that I didn't think about, but once I hear you, it gives me a new idea. Maybe I say something that gives you a new idea. So through this process, hopefully something will emerge out of this that none of the team members could have ever come up on their own. So now the question then becomes, what exactly the students should submit this week? And that's precisely where it all started. Well, frankly, whatever they can. So it's not like we're going to grade that work each week, and if it's not good enough, the students will get a low grade. No, we will share that with you, the professors, so you can see what your students are doing. And if you would like to help them, provide maybe feedback or comments, obviously you will have the materials to do so, and we do encourage you to do this. So, but in reality, it will not be graded, and I assume most of you will not be given grades, marks to students based on those weekly submissions. So even if a student submits very little, 2 words, or maybe even nothing, I assume there will be no penalty for that because we don't have a system in place to do that. I did hire 35 coaches this semester, and they will read every single submission and will provide feedback, but it will be informal feedback just for the students in case you wonder how you do compared to others. Here is what we have to say. But again, there is no evaluation. So there is technically no penalty for students not doing much individually this week, and then as a team next week, and then again individually the week after, and then as a team a week after. At the same time, we encourage the students to do as much as they can, reasonably. I mean, obviously, we don't want them to lose sleep over it, but it would be nice if they had some ideas. And so probably a typical solution will be a bullet list of the main ideas of some key propositions, numbers, figures, whatever they can find, with the hope that it will be something the students can bring to the table next week when they will work as a team. So we don't expect much. If the students will write a few words for each question, I suppose that's good enough. More is better than less, but it doesn't have to be finished, or it doesn't have to be even a lot, whatever they do. The way they submit it is once they see the survey, there will be basically a window where they can type in those answers or copy and paste those answers. And again, ideally we'd like to see more, but whatever they can do is all good. We will provide feedback. We hope you as instructors will provide feedback. But other than that, it's basically up to the students. The important thing is that whatever they say individually this week, that they will continue discussing these ideas with the team. And then whatever they submit as a team next week, hopefully they will continue working on that throughout the rest of the semester, so that the final fully polished, beautiful version emerges only at the end of the project. So whatever they say now, they don't have to stick with that option. If a better idea comes to mind later, they definitely can change it. I hope that helps, and very nice meeting you in this virtual format. I hope many of you will attend the Academy of International Business Southeast USA meeting in October in Washington, D.C., in 2 weeks from now. I know there will be many ex-culture professors there, and we'll have a number of meetings and sessions together, and hope to meet you there face-to-face. And yes, we will discuss all the many challenges we have with ex-culture, and many good ideas come out of that, so hope to see you there.